Well, good afternoon, and thank you so much for coming here today. I've been receiving a lot of questions about the mayor's upcoming efforts, and so I really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you all. As this day has been coming, the mayor's office and the Portland Police Bureau and I have had a lot of conversations and preparations as we're getting ready for this. And in fact, today I had a great meeting with the mayor and a host of system partners as we worked out kind of the last details as we're getting ready to start. And I want to be very clear. This office is here to support the mayor's efforts. And we are going to do everything we can to help this community as we work towards getting people off the streets. The time has come. We need to get people off the streets. And I want to be clear. All of our efforts are going to be directed at how do we connect people with services, how do we, in a compassionate manner, hold people accountable, but really make sure that we are pushing towards getting people off the streets. This community has been very clear. We are exceptionally compassionate and generous, and we have built a huge infrastructure and really a massive support network about how we can help people get off the streets. And so it's time to start that effort. And this isn't going to happen overnight. So I want to set expectations and make sure we're clear. It's not going to be perfect to start, but we are going to work hand in hand with the mayor, with Portland Police, with our homeless service outreach programs, with the county, and with anyone else who wants to join this effort. But it's time to help people get off the streets. And I'll certainly be happy to take your questions. I want to let you know that yes, I have all my misdemeanor attorneys are going to be working on this. I've also assigned my senior deputy district attorney, J.R. Ujafusa, to help coordinate efforts with Portland Police Bureau as we go forward. All right. Any questions I can answer from you all?
Has the law changed at all since?
Yeah.
Has the law changed at all since this was first enacted, or will it all be the same as far as being told, hey, you've been told 3 times?
We recently looked at that. There was a slight change, and that was done through the city of Portland. The 3 times part was removed, and the ordinance is under, I think it's chapter 14. So I would recommend folks take a look at that. We went through it today, but the basics are that if there is shelter available, and that was part of the discussion today with the mayor, is that there is shelter available. And we've been very clear that we want to be a system partner with the mayor, and right now there's shelter beds. He said as many as 800 are open, and that means it's time to start getting people off the street.
So no more 3-time warning?
That's my understanding. But I would certainly, defer to the mayor, but when we look at the statute now, as it's been changed, that does not exist.
So at what point would a case come across your desk? Is it an arrest has to be made, a citation?
That's a great question. And I want to be clear, there's going to be a ton of effort before any case comes to my desk. The officers are going to be working with outreach workers. They're going to be doing everything they can on the front end to connect people to shelter before any case comes to my desk. However, there is going to come a point, and I think we've gotten to where it's time to do what I call the push-pull. Give a little bit of a push, and then put out a hand to pull them, to help them. And this is one where what's going to happen initially is they're going to do citations under this time, place, manner. And those citations will require them to come to court. Our office will review that. And then from there, we're going to look for every opportunity to dismiss or get rid of that case, as long as that person is making efforts and we are connecting them with shelter, getting them off the streets. So I can tell you that when we talk about things like jail, that is going to be the absolute last resort. We're going to do everything we can to help that individual get off the streets.
What does your office have to say to the other side who says, this is inhumane, there's just going to be more sweeps, this isn't the right way to go about it?
I'm glad you asked that question. I would say to that other side, go out on the street right now and look at the people that are dying out there every day. See the people that are overdosed on drugs, the people that are living in filth. It is wholly inhumane to continue this approach. I think this community is demanding more. We are investing well over $400 million a year. I think that's a conservative amount of money that is being put. And it's because this community is so compassionate and so caring. It's time that we start expecting and demanding some accountability to come with our compassion, and it's time to help people get to a better place. And the last thing I would say to that, and it's important, is we've tried that approach. I mean, how many of us have been through here the last few years, and what have we seen? And I ask people that all the time. How's that approach worked out for us? We've seen a rise in the number of people that are homeless. We've seen, just untold victimization of people that are living on the streets. We've seen homicides, drug overdoses in the houseless population have skyrocketed. It's time for a change. And I know that the mayor has dedicated that. He's doing everything he can, really every day. He's one of the most driven individuals I've ever seen on a single issue to really bring about change here. And he needs the support of the system partners, and I am here to support him.
Is there a myth or a misconception that you're like, I just wish people understood this when it comes to the campus ban?
Yeah, I really wish people understood how much effort it goes in from various city employees, community organizations, law enforcement, all the efforts that are put forward before we get to this issue about, are we going to cite someone for this? There is an extreme amount of effort to try to get people off the streets and into shelter. And this is truly one where we are looking at how can we, in a compassionate manner, connect people to the services and to the opportunities to really get them into a better place.
If you say you're going to try everything to keep them out of jail, to try and basically get cases dismissed if they work, to get better and get help, or to get in shelters, is it worth the officer's time then to even go to that length?
It is. It's time to really take those efforts and go out and meet people where they are on the streets and offer those opportunities. But if those opportunities aren't taken, it's time to go to the next level. And the next level is to come into court and have a discussion about that. We will, again, offer lots of opportunities, lots of pathways off the street. And it's one of those situations where, yes, we want to do everything we can to avoid the criminal justice system and the jails, but at some point we have to have a firm stance and say it's time for a change.
What is the jail time again? Can you remind me?
The maximum is 7 days in jail.
7 days.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Vasquez.
Oh, sorry, can I just one quick follow up? Okay, so 7 days in jail, and they just go back out on the street. Then what do you guys do?
They could be cited again. Again, the question is the behavior. The behavior is we have worked hard, and by we, I really mean the mayor's office, has really done a lot to create shelter and this opportunity. And the behavior is, are we going to allow people to continue to live on the streets in really poor conditions? And so that behavior is what the mayor is saying it's time to see a change on, and this office is supporting.
Sorry, I interrupted.
No, please. Mr. Vasquez, we're curious, you talked about some of the reasons that people might be arrested. I understand that failure to appear, which is a chronic issue, could also be a new criteria. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. I mean, the way that I understand, and speaking with the Portland Police Bureau and with the mayor, is that the first really effort is going to go out to make contact, try to get people to comply, and there's going to be contacts where they'll be running people to see if they have a warrant for their arrest. When we have individuals that are cited to come in, if they fail to appear for court, they can potentially be, and this office will be taking the approach of that they will be charged with failure to appear.
3 FTAs, 5 FTAs?
The court currently has a standard of 5. If it were given my choice, it would be 1. I mean, that's just, but I'm only one part of the system. I'll certainly continue to advocate for that change.
And following up on that as one part of the system, we've seen previous efforts by the Portland mayor to, increase arrests around homelessness, and actually seen the sheriff say that I'm not booking people on those charges. So, have you had a discussion with the sheriff? What's going to that look like? Because obviously, police can arrest someone, but whether or not someone stays in jail is not a decision that's up to the police chief or you.
Yeah, I would say that the mayor's done an excellent job of really trying to bring in system partners. I've had a very direct conversation with the sheriff. The sheriff is supportive. The sheriff's office was at the table today. This is truly an effort where we're trying to look at this from a system-wide approach and making sure that all of the system partners are rowing in the same direction.
I understand that citations, for fines, for some, maybe for fires or campfires, is that something that your office is going to be processing?
Certainly if it's a city code ordinance, will be something that we'll look at if it falls under the area of, is it a potential crime or not. We'll be looking at those, yes.
Can you looking at,
Well-
to enforce a fee or to hold someone for not paying those citations?
What we're talking about is we're looking at those ordinances, the ones that could involve jail time. Those are the ones that we'll be reviewing, determining if we're issuing criminal charges. That's where we typically get involved. Like, for example, my office, we don't prosecute or deal with traffic tickets. Like, that's not our jurisdiction. So if it involves a potential jail sanction, my office will be reviewing it and making determinations on it.
Yeah, homelessness is a pretty complex issue. Is this something that you think that we're going to be able to arrest our way out of?
I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, it is an absolutely complex issue where there's a lot of different efforts that can go into helping us get to a better place. And while I don't think there's no magic bullet out there, and certainly I don't believe that we can arrest our way out of something, it doesn't mean we don't try lots of different efforts and make some changes, because well, we haven't been making arrests, and how has that worked out for us the past few years? I mean, when I sit back and I look, I've seen each year just what seems almost like exponential growth within our houseless population. And while this community has stepped up with lots of different tools, it's time to make sure that those individuals out on the streets are taking advantage of those tools. It is truly a push-pull approach. And then there's lots of other tools, lots of other efforts out there to help try to get us to a better place.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Everybody?